Students, your time has come. I have decided that it's time to share some of my knowledge with you. That's right. Do you want to become a true legendary professional wrestling character? Do you want to learn how to project your voice, to enunciate, to come up with the greatest promos that you possibly could? Then you need to join me each and every week for just $50. I am hosting a masterclass on Zoom. That's right. You don't have to travel. You can do it from the comfort of your own home. I will teach you how to become the greatest character you can be. I will help you discover who you truly are. I will help you with taglines, promos, etc., etc. Join me for just $50 a week in a masterclass of wrestling character development. There's a reason they call us the masters of wrestling. Welcome back, students, to this masterclass, this very special masterclass. In fact, because as you see at the bottom of our screen, the man has returned. The man has been through hell and back. My tag team partner, the tag team partner of tag team partners. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome back the bodacious suave Matthew Jacobs.
Feels good to be back.
It feels wonderful to have you back here, bodacious suave. I'm sure, Martin, you're feeling the exact same way.
We've missed you.
I think Martin's having some anxiety because I think.
Yes, right. We talked about that.
Time has run out, pal.
We talked about that, didn't we, bodacious suave? Well, you know what, Martin? You know, at the end of the day, we want to thank you for all your contributions here to the masterclass and everything you brought here. Thank you for filling the shoes. But I'm sorry, pal. Your 10 minutes of fame are up. So, adios. Back to NXT, Martin. There we go. Bodacious suave. Hey.
I thought you talked to him already about it. Wait, we're live, pal.
Well, we are live, pal, and now we've gone back to the original duo. You are my tag team partner, my man. It's just a pleasure. You kicked out, you had your chemo, and now you're back in the saddle again. And viewers, we want to thank you for joining us here. Make sure you join and become a channel member. Make sure you load up those super chats because we want to engage with you this week. We want you to write us. We want to engage. We got tons to talk about. We got the JCW review. We've got other news. And also make sure you subscribe, hit that like button. And but before we begin, bodacious suave, I kind of feel a little bit bad about what we just did there to Martin. I mean, he did do a good job.
You're too nice. I would have asked him, but I mean, it's your show, so whatever.
Let's bring him. Let's bring him back. Let's bring him back. Let's bring him back. Let's bring him back in. Martin.
You would have asked me. Seriously?
Well, you know, hey, it just goes to show how passionate you are, Martin. We were just testing you.
You wanted to ask me a few questions. I appreciate.
I wanted to ask you a few questions. That's right. You know, good old what's it, Booker T? Who can do a Booker T impression here? Anybody? No, Martin, can you? Bodacious suave?
Not well. Yeah.
You put me on the spot.
You just reminded me of something.
Yeah. What's up?
Keep that. No. Keep that. Some news that came out from Mr. Booker to what.
Okay. The bookworm himself, Booker T. Hello to all our fans. We see him coming up in the chats there. I know I've got one super fan right here. Actually, you know, guys, I had this fan right here, this Zilla, actually contact me on Instagram. You know, this is what we love. We love our smart fans who actually read the screen here. They followed me on Instagram, and a great comment. Thank you so much for the comment you left me there on Instagram. It really pleases that we are entertaining you and you're so behind us here on the masterclass. But let's jump right into some news, gentlemen. We've been talking about Saudi Arabia. You know, everybody knows the big move is happening. WWE are gearing up for that sale. But you know what the Saudi Arabians have been doing recently? You know what they've been doing, gentlemen? Construction on a new WWE stadium. Yes,
it's
indeed.
A new stadium.
Yes, indeed. They have built a new stadium where they are going to house professional wrestling, namely World Whining Entertainment is going to be housed out there.
You know what's interesting about that, though?
Yeah.
We know more about a stadium being built than we do about the actual show.
That's true. Exactly. What's going on?
The only thing we know going into that is it's potentially AJ Styles' last match.
We're talking about Royal Rumble. But Aisha Swab, you brought this up a few weeks ago. What's the deal with not hyping this event?
Well, I don't know, but we know.
There's nothing.
I'd like to pat myself on the back for calling all the Sami Zayn shots. How do you like that? How do you like
I
them
did see that.
apples?
I was like, yeah, all right.
Yeah, can you bestow that wisdom upon our students here? What are you talking about? About Sami Zayn, the man who needs to wash and shave his beard?
I'm not going to go too long on it, but I was predicting it since the summer that Sami Zayn was going to win the Royal Rumble, but then they kind of changed it a little bit and put him in a tournament, and the winner of the tournament will wrestle McIntyre. So of course Zayn wins his first fight, and then you look at the tour schedule, and it's like, well, Montreal, the winner advances. And I'm like, well, who has ties to Montreal? Sami Zayn. He's not going to lose. And then if you win in Montreal, you're going to Saudi Arabia. Well, who has ties to Saudi Arabia? Sami Zayn. So that's going to be the biggest pop of the night, him winning the title. But I'm predicting this. He's not going to be the headliner for WrestleMania. He's just getting the belt at Royal Rumble, and then probably will lose it back to Drew McIntyre 2 weeks later on Raw.
Mm-hmm.
And then we're going back to the U.S. traditional way.
Yeah.
And then they'll set up a WrestleMania match, because I don't think Sami Zayn's a draw for WrestleMania.
No, he's not a draw at all. You know what they're trying to duplicate here? Martin, do you recall way back when? Now, again, and I want to make this very clear to all of our students, because you know what, Martin, Matthew, I'm starting to lose patience with trying to explain the difference between wrestling fans. Okay, Bryan Danielson. Okay, what was his name in WWE? What the heck was his name?
Daniel Bryan.
Daniel Bryan. Okay, I forget his name.
I was going to say, that's hard for you to remember, eh, Amir?
Yeah, it is hard for me to remember. I tell you why, because it was non-monumental.
Martin, I think we have to start our own show and axe this guy. Eh?
Hey, I'm not axing anyone, unlike you, so you know.
Yeah, exactly. Bodacious Suave. I tell you what, you got a little bit of extra confidence since you've come back here, Bodacious One.
I did tell Cancer to kiss my ass.
Yes,
you did.
And that we love.
Yes,
We
yes,
absolutely
you
love that.
did. You kicked it. But going back to Daniel Bryan, okay, here's a guy. This is a purist wrestling. And this is what I want to make clear here, because I got a lot of heat the other day on the Cafe de Rene, which I love, by the way. Thank you very much, and you're all welcome. But that's a purist wrestler. That's that's a athletic performance. That's a gymnastic duel, a Cirque du Soleil performance, in my opinion, right? Okay. But then there's sports entertainment. Now, someone like Daniel Bryan is not sports entertainment. That is not a sports entertainer. Just like Sami Zayn, he is not a sports entertainer. He is a wrestler, a purist wrestler, period. He does not become Hulk Hogan. He does not make a casual viewer tune in and suddenly become a wrestling fan. So what I'm saying is someone like that could never carry the company unless they're looking to down their numbers. If they're continuing to do that, I mean, I just think that's a stupid move to have him win the Royal Rumble and then have him give the belt right back to Drew. That's just, again, killing kayfabe all the more. Ridiculous.
Yeah, the belts don't mean anything anyway. And everything they're doing now is cheap pops.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
It's
So
because
get the big reaction in another country.
Mm-hmm.
Just imagine, I don't know, sorry, I might go a little bit too wrong here, but imagine if Sami Zayn doesn't win the belt. Are bombs gonna go off?
Well, he's getting paid to win that belt, right? Okay,
I mean,
the Saudis are putting a lot of money.
The Saudis might lose their shit. You know,
who's he in the final with?
McIntyre.
Oh, the final is.
Yeah. So then once we come back to USA, McIntyre will get a rematch and get the title back. It was just a cheap pop.
If they put the title on
Zing.
Zayn,
You think he's going to hold it to WrestleMania?
He'll go into Mania and lose it. No, he will. He will.
You reckon they're going to highlight him as the main event of WrestleMania? Come on. Sami Zayn, Martin.
I bring you to Jey Uso and Gunther. Was it last year's Mania? And they were the opening match.
Oh, very true. Yeah. They were the opening match there. You know, nonetheless, I think if they will do a huge.
If the Saudis make a big deal about Zayn becoming champion, they're not that stupid to know that, they go back to the States and then he drops it straight away.
What do you
That's
think?
not how you. That's not how you schmooze a potential buyer.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah, that's true. They couldn't again, if the Saudis are paying top
Again, that's
dollar.
just my opinion. I mean, but then again, going back to Saudi when the deal first happened, a really good friend of yours, Mansour,
You
he
say
wasn't
that
allowed.
loosely, right?
He wasn't allowed to lose. That's
Yeah.
why at all the Saudi shows he beat Ziggler, Claudio. He wasn't allowed to lose, and then when he came back home, he still wasn't allowed to lose, which is why they stopped using him.
Mm-hmm. I tell you what, they've stopped using him altogether. In fact, where has he gone? Bodacious one. Have you ever heard hide nor hair of this guy since I threatened him at WrestleMania last April?
I think he did a little thing with
Villain, you.
with Maven and maybe some indie work, but no, nothing.
He's doing charity work.
If that's what
I
you
don't
want to
know.
call it.
I don't know, but nonetheless, let's not waste
Isn't he on
time.
Ring of Honor? I don't
What's
know.
that?
Isn't he on Ring of Honor?
Does Ring of Honor still exist?
I'm not that bored to watch Ring of Honor.
Okay, I didn't even know if it still existed. That's what I'm
It
saying.
does,
I
but I mean,
anymore.
like, come on, there's a little bit more caliber out there. I'm not going to start sinking to Bush League level.
Well,
I've got a lot of friends who work there.
But you know what I mean. Like, it's not it's not the top.
Again, it's pure wrestling. It's not.
Yeah, which is fine. I mean, these are athletes. They made it. I'm not shitting on the product at all. What I'm just trying to say is, you have WWE, you have their main shows, you have AEW. Like, there's already too much wrestling there. I don't even know where it's on TV, so I'd have to go look for it.
Ring of Honor's only on their app. I think it's not on online.
Yeah. So
okay. So let's talk about the app. Let's switch gears here for a second, because Martin, you brought up a valid point. You have to go to an app to find Ring of Honor, correct? So it's hard to come by.
That's not for the lack of trying to find a TV station for it, but
okay.
I know he's been trying, and it is a shame because the Briscoes and FTR had like an amazing feud that was built on a story. It was fantastic.
Okay.
And it was some of Jay Briscoe's last work. And it's such an amazing body of work. It's sad that it wasn't seen on TV.
Let's talk.
What did they do with the brother? Because he got like a little push after his brother died.
Obviously, Jay put out a tweet like years and years and years ago, and it was a little near the mark. And it wasn't the greatest of tweets in the world, and because of that, Warner Brothers wouldn't touch him. Okay. So he was never allowed to wrestle on AEW or Dynamite or Collision or anything. They were like, "No, we're not going to do it." Unfortunately, when he passed, Mark was then Warner Brothers were like, okay, we can, we'll bring Mark on. As far as I know, he's the male TNT champion. And again, they told that story well. He was, it was the underdog. It was one of the better stories they did. He was losing and losing and losing, and it's just they built him up, and then he finally won the title. So
yeah. Well, no, I understand that, but I just think coming back to what you said about work, and I want to talk about this because Bodacious Suave, I sent you the interview. Martin, I know you watched the interview. In my opinion, the smartest man left in pro wrestling today, our dear buddy Vince Russo. Now, again, I listened to that interview he did with Ken Kennedy. I had the pleasure of working with Ken. I spoke with Ken. I also spoke with his co-star. What was his name? I forget his name. For my apologies, because I've talked to so many people. But nonetheless, great interview. And some of the things that came out there were just pure wisdom. As Vince was saying, you've got this work rate wrestling, which has now proliferated everything, Martin. It's proliferated WWE. It's proliferated AEW. And what it's done is it has completely segregated. Matthew, we did the stats. If you go back to the Attitude Era, pro wrestling has lost on average, about 13 to 15 million viewers.
Millions.
Exactly.
Millions. Yeah.
Millions that used to tune in every week are gone. And when Vince Russo broke it down, he broke it down to perfection. I understood him because I'm a writer and I've been writing for years. So I understand storytelling, right? he said that the wrestling matches themselves get a dip. So when people are watching these TV programs, especially if it's a long match,
I found that really interesting because I found that really, really interesting.
They tune out. What do they do if they watch it on replay? What do I find myself doing? Fast forwarding to the promos or to the backstage vignettes. And if the story grabs me enough, then I will watch the match. But if the match is too long, I'm going to turn it off. Now, go back to Shawn Michaels and Bret Hart, WrestleMania 12, the Iron Man match. Okay, the build, the story, the stakes of that were so high. That is about the only 1 hour wrestling match I have ever watched in my entire life. And I wasn't bored of it. But Aisha Suave, would you agree with this? Of course you would, because it's Bret Hart.
Yeah, but I was actually rooting for Shawn Michaels that night.
You were?
Yeah, I'm embarrassed to say. Yeah, you know why?
Right.
I was 7 years old, and that's just how powerful WWE is. They're good at brainwashing you. Mm-hmm. So they were building Shawn Michaels so much, right? Mm-hmm. So I was 7 years old. I fell for it, and I remember when Shawn won, I was at my friend's house, Kevin Challenger, and I was celebrating. But now, looking back 30 years ago, I was like, what an idiot I was. But they got me, and that's what WWE is. They brainwash you. They feed you so many times, like the radio. They play that same track all the time, and you're like, man, this is a good track because you're hearing it over and over and over.
But the point I'm trying to make is the story was so built, Martin. It was built so well.
Yeah. Hey, can we get rid of Red Fox here?
But Ace is Suave. You know who Red Fox is?
Well, I'm reading Bret screwed.
Wow.
Bret. You know what? I don't take no Bret Hart slandering, eh? So
I'm going to have to keep you two co-stars away from each other in the future. You know, our dear correspondent, my co-star over there on the Ultimate Truth podcast, all about the Ultimate Warrior, which we had a tremendous guest, gentleman, this week. We had Steve Wilton on with us, who managed the Warrior up until his death and then worked with Dana until 2019. Can you believe that, gentlemen? Yeah. So going back to what I was saying, though, building a story, when Vince Russo talked about that, he was so true. So I think the WWE and both AEW now are doing the disservice to all the other wrestling fans by just advertising to the purists. But the problem is now it's spilled over to all these young aspiring wrestlers. Instead of focusing on how do I make a mark, how do I not a mark, but how do I make a mark? How do I become a household name? How do I really captivate an audience? They're being brainwashed into just thinking, oh, okay, I've got to get this moveset down perfectly. I can't make any mistakes in the ring. Oh, I've got to rehearse every single bloody thing I do so it looks friggin' choreographed when I'm out there in the ring. That is pathetic. And that's why I said, Vince Russo, I champion you, sir. He's going to be appearing with us soon on the podcast. I just applaud him so much. He's the only one, gentlemen, the only one out there who completely fundamentally understands the TV aspect of wrestling.
Yep.
Uncle Paul is failing miserably because, like you said, he's a wrestler. All he's focusing on is the matches, the moves. That's it. Yeah. He's not focusing like Vince. So I don't know. What are your thoughts, gentlemen? What do you think about this?
Well, again, what I thought was great about it is, as Vince said, the shows are being booked by what the bookers like watching, and it's as a wrestler, I could understand that being difficult, especially if you've come from the ring, like, oh, you know what, I love watching this, and so it's human nature to try and capture that.
Yeah.
But then when you're in the outside looking in, you can go, well, that ain't working. That's not working. That's not working. What's working? Pop culture. Boom. Come here. So it's if you're in the thick of it, that's exactly why back in the day, Vince McMahon looked outside and said, okay, what do I need to, like, he looked outside of that.
Yeah.
And then he got writers in, so it's.
Yeah, exactly.
Again, does someone want to relinquish complete power? And okay, well, how about we do my idea? Because your idea is better than mine, but we're not doing it because, so does it just come down to someone not wanting to listen because they've got the best ideas, or I don't know.
But Aisha Suave, you and I, you were cut from the same cloth in terms of what drew us to pro wrestling. All right. Number one, I want to state we're not marks. Okay. The definition of a mark is not what we are. All right. I tuned out. Matthew, I don't know about you, but once the Ruthless Aggression was over, I didn't watch I never watched another pay-per-view again.
After that, it was bad.
Right. So I never, and also, who's this jabroni in the chat? You know what? We're going to start getting vicious here. Who is this little jackass that's come in the chat right here?
What do you say?
You know what? You see this little punk down here? He's got a crush in his title. Yeah, we're going to crush you right out of here if you carry on with that, pal. But anyway, like I was saying, right? So again, what Matthew? What was I saying? I was distracted by this punk. What was I saying, Matthew?
I don't know. I don't listen to you when you talk, to be honest.
Oh, really? But it's just swag. You want to be objective too.
I think you tuned out around the Ruthless Aggression era.
Yeah.
And you never watched the pay-per-view after.
Right. So again, but they're not caring about that audience anymore. I mean, I think it's like we're beating our head against a brick wall with WWE and AEW. They're never going to change. It's clearly obvious now. The cancer is swept into both of those companies.
I think it will.
You really think that they're going to?
The business is constantly evolving.
Yes.
Okay.
All right. It constantly evolves. It always has.
Mm-hmm.
At some point, it's going to have to go back. It's going to have to. Could it be too late by then?
No.
Who knows?
I don't agree with that. I don't agree with that part. Go back to what?
Storytelling.
The problem is, and I was just thinking of this today.
But it's also the day and age in the society we live in.
Yeah, but like everything's been exposed.
Well, exactly. Yeah.
That's a big problem. And
I haven't watched it, and I won't watch it.
Matthew, before you get to your question there, we do have a question from one of our loyal members, channel members. You can become a channel member for just the price of a cup of coffee. That's $4.99 a month. And that'll give you a free question, a free shout out. And we've got some brand new exclusive members only videos that are going to be uploading this week. So make sure you hit that, become a channel member. And I'm going to bring up one of our channel members' questions right now on the screen before we go any further, Matthew. This is from One Boss, One TV. I always think it says ITV, Martin. Hi, Martin. Did you enjoy working Iceman #1? Did you?
So I had Iceman is a deathmatch wrestler, but can straight wrestle as well from back home in England. And we always got on, and we had some absolutely just knockdown, drag out brawls. And after Samoa Joe, he was like kind of the second guy I worked that had like weight behind his name. And it kind of got me out there and got me more around England and stuff like that. And yeah, just I had so much fun with him. We knocked the crap out of each other.
Okay, and now obviously the second part of that question: what do we think about death matches in general? So, Martin, before you get to that, but Aisha Suave, what do you think about death matches?
Not my style. I'm not gonna crap on it because I mean it's out there. It's not my style. Wrestling to me is all about opinion and what you like. I could say Bret Hart's the best, and you could say Stone Cold's the best, and you can say
Shane's the best.
Right, but there's no. It's like Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. It's all just opinion and what you mean. Like. So
you mean like the Sap himself, the Sap man and his stupid company, Fightful Pro Wrestling, that make up stats and make up awards. Yeah,
but I don't even know why that works because I mean he's not fooling anybody, right? So he's just got his own agenda and. Maybe getting a few sponsors, but you're not fooling anybody. I mean, listen, wrestling fans can be dumb, but they're not that dumb. Like,
no,
you're not fooling anybody.
No, they do fool some, the casuals, I think, maybe, but not.
Hey, this Red Fox guy, my temperature is really rising. I'm telling you, man. He's too. Red. Hold on. I'm getting hot in here.
Okay, he's getting hot. Red Fox. You better calm it down. But death matches. No, I mean I agree with what you said, but Ace Suave. End of the day, I think death matches are trash. My opinion. Again, you both know I'm not holding back my opinions ever. I think it's total trash. I think it's a lack of creativity. I think it's barbaric. It borderline sadomasochism, which is a very big problem, a mental problem. And it's very dangerous because children watch wrestling. As you know, I actually got a certificate from the state of California this week.
Congratulations on that. That was great to see.
For working with the communities. Thank you to Deshaun and all the team over there with the wonderful things we're doing at Comptomania. And that's what it's all about. So I don't like promoting that kind of violence and that kind of idiocy in front of a crowd where I know children are there. Now, again, there are certain companies out there, that's all they promote, right? They just do all these death matches and stuff like that. That's fine. They appeal to that crowd, but don't bring it to the mainstream because we don't want it. It's not part of, you know what I mean?
Amir, as your secretary, you just got booked and offered to fight into a death match. And
I did.
Yeah, we'll give you a $5,000 pay. Do you accept?
Absolutely not. That's not enough money first of all, I'm not going to mess up this face, Bodacious Suave. So there's no way I'm going to. A gentleman wins the contest. He does not partake in a brawl, in a barbaric brawl.
Okay, and Amir, this is the last time I say this. Control your members here.
I am.
With the slandering.
I am going to control. Yes, I see that right there. Somebody. Yes.
Wow. My first day back, and this is what I come to.
They're bringing the heat. Because Bodacious Suave, we finally got what we wanted. We got wrestling fans that understand sports entertainment. That's why they're here. We got those fans.
Talent, greatest faith, and you can't.
Bill Goldberg, yeah.
Oh my gosh, gentlemen.
Get into deathmatch wrestling. Would I ever do it? Absolutely not.
Right.
It's not something I would ever do.
No.
I did, however, one time I worked a show where I thought was just a regular show. And I'm the first match, straight wrestling match. Yeah, it was a great match. It was really good. I didn't realize when the rest of the show was deathmatch wrestling. The one thing that I did appreciate was it was a lot of guys from Japan. And I'll give them their due. They made each thing they did, they built to the finish. So I'm like, well, at least they actually told a story and made it make sense as much as you can make sense out of it. But just again, it's not my cup of tea. But again, as you so rightly said, Bodacious, wrestling's subjective. So would it ever catch on in the mainstream? Of course not, because obviously TV licensing and branding times and watersheds and stuff like that, it's just impossible, So it has its niche audience. But if you are going to go down that route, at least make it make sense. That's the best advice I'd give. Because if not, if I was to ever do a death match, I would be in a boiler suit, a massive head guard. Like you wouldn't see any of me. I'd look like I was an astronaut.
No, you know what you do if you're in a death match?
Not do it. Yeah.
Yeah, not do it. Pretty much. But if you were forced into do it, isn't it called a death match? Are you not allowed weapons? You don't even need to touch the other person if you catch my drift. But anyway, I'm advocating that. That's entertainment. This video is just made for entertainment purposes, ladies and gentlemen, just so you know. Continue, Matthew. You're about to move on here. You got some more.
Oh, you want me to take over the show now?
No, I'm asking you. This is an equal opportunity.
10 minutes of fame. Come on.
Yeah.
Guys in the chat, you guys get free chats here because I just want to know what you guys think. But guys here, Master and Martin, is there something I'm not seeing with this Kit Wilson guy?
Kit Wilson. This is this new guy who's coming into WWE, right?
Yeah, with this Barbie music.
Barbie music.
Oh, that's
I think he's one of your people.
He's a Brit.
Yeah. Sammy Suave, embarrassment, as he used to be known as.
Sammy what?
Suave.
Oh, he thinks he's suave, does he? Coming out the Barbie music.
He used to look completely different. So
yeah, he's not a bad looking guy, but I'm just kind of like, I don't know. This for me, this doesn't work in 2026, and it's not going to be. You're going to be that lower card talent putting people over, and people are just going to feed into you for your entrance music, which is really complete garbage. But because it's different and Barbie-ish, people are jumping on it. But guys in the chat, is there something I'm not seeing with this guy?
Honestly, you shouldn't be seeing anything. This is a low-hanging fruit attempt to try and get someone over.
Not his fault.
It's going to be difficult now because obviously he's a singles wrestler. When it was both of them, when they were pretty deadly, it kind of worked because it was something different in a tag division. But as a singles wrestler, it's going to be very, very hard to stand out. Even though I guess it's one of like the more colourful gimmicks.
Yeah.
But it's going to be hard to stand out. Very,
yeah,
very hard.
It's only going to get you so far.
Yeah.
What does this guy look like? Can you bring him up on your phone and put it to the screen? But
you think I'm going to type that on my phone?
What?
I don't know Google knowing I'm typing that on my phone.
Very good point. You don't want to pollute your phone.
I'm trying to think. He's probably about what? He's maybe 6'6'1". He's got long black hair.
Okay.
He's a good looking guy.
He's in good shape. He's not big by
he's not me.
Definitely not.
No. He's pretty.
Yeah, I mean, he's in good shape.
What does he wear? Is he colorful? Does he try to portray Kiwi from WCW? Is that what he's doing?
No. It's nothing like that. So he's got like this weird, like these tights come up with like this weird underarm. Like it's different.
Yeah.
And it worked as a tag team. It worked.
So what you're saying is he looks like Max Moon? Looks like a spaceman?
Well, the theme, yeah,
kind of, yeah. But I mean, it's different.
Why on
in
earth?
The whole realm of trunks and kick pads. And,
bring it closer.
Give that a kiss, Amir.
No, you know what? He's an embarrassment. He's an embarrassment to wear a shirt like that. He used to wear shirts like that. Women in the 80s.
What you talking about? When you were here in Montreal, you took one out and said, "Amir, you're not getting in my car wearing that shirt." I said,
listen, that was a tank top. That was it was short because my traps got bigger and my back was bigger, so it pulled up a little bit. I would not wear one of those shirts, Bodacious Suave. Please, ladies and gentlemen. Darn, man.
The amount of fibs you tell on this podcast, I'm telling you.
Lots of porcupines, yeah.
But,
my God.
To go back to him, I don't see how far this run will go.
I mean, they've got to do something with him because his tag partner broke his neck. So
okay, I'm still stuck on this idiotic music. Why is
hang on? That guy just got you. Guy just got you. Malls 92. I need to know. I guess I don't think he's from Montreal. Hang on. You're toast. You're toast. Amir.
Hold on a second. If Maltz wants to keep his position with us, this guy gives us the
Wow.
This guy gives us Muhammad. If you want to keep your position with us, my man.
Okay, Amir. When you were here in Montreal, it was F1. It was F1 weekend. True or false?
Yes, and they interviewed me on the news because they knew that I was Uncle Paul's nephew. That's why they brought me on the news.
What street were we on?
I don't know. I can't remember.
He just said it.
He was watching me on the news. Oh, I thought this was a jab at me, Muhammad. Oh no, yes, that was me. He saw me on the local news channel. Yes, that was me. That was me, Muhammad. That was me. Yes, I was getting heated right there, Muhammad. You see, I don't know about that, but yes, that was me. They pulled me there for the interview, doing the F1, the Grand Prix.
Yeah, and then you went into your son, big hotshot wrestler, and forget your F1 guys. Tune into me.
That's what I did. That's exactly what I did, Marty.
Masters of Wrestling, and
that's what I did.
Let's be real. When you watch F1, they just go round and round and round. It gets boring after one lap.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah,
I don't watch that.
Yeah, I don't.
You know what happened is they took a pit stop and they wanted to find some entertainment, so they came over and they spoke to me. They also got a dash of intelligence with it as well. But there you go. I digress.
Well, Maltz 92. That was a true story. I brought Amir. He came out here for F1 Montreal and then a wrestling convention, so I brought him downtown. And we did walk on Crescent Street because it is the party street in Montreal. And he just so happened to get interviewed by a local news station.
Of course.
That day. So,
there were many other people there, Martin, but of course I was the one that
I've got you. You were the one that was.
Yes.
Oh, you had the finger point. I get it. Yeah.
I did this, and then I put him over. I did the point right at him right there, and that's what happened. That's why they wanted me on there. I'm still, by the way, Bodacious Suave. You're handling all of our affairs up there. So I'm still waiting for that check from that company. So you need to follow up with them because that percentage goes to you as well, my man.
Oh, I've already spent it all.
Yeah, that's gone. Yeah, sorry.
Snooze you lose, pal.
Oh,
Hey, it's
man.
Canadian money, so it won't work out as much for us.
Yeah,
That's true.
Sucks.
That's true. Yeah. It's not gonna do any favors for us. Hey, join in the chat here. Anyone who's viewing the channel right here, load up your super chats if you want to get involved. If you want us to discuss something, if you want to chime into something we're talking about, if you've got a question to ask, use a super chat or join and become a channel member for just $4.99 a month. That is the price of a cup of coffee. What happens when you spend $4.99 at Starbucks? You drink it. A few hours later, you piss it out. At least here, you become a valued member of the channel. Hey, sometimes our channel members get promotions around here. Like I said, we got Muhammad in the chat right now, Maltz92. He's giving us the JCW review. He does a tremendous job, this man. I tell you, back in the day, I used to read Power Slam magazine back in the UK, and this man would have been a fantastic writer for Power Slam. He is actually a writer. He's up in Toronto, actually, Badesh Suave, Muhammad. He's up in your neck of the woods right there.
Like Mohammed, the review I read today that you wrote was it was fantastic. So
yeah, we're going to be getting to that at the top of the hour. We're going to be switching over to JCW review because that was a tremendous episode last week. Of course, my gosh, they're just doing wonders over on that channel. But coming back to this guy quickly, what the heck is the deal with the Barbie music? How does that make sense? This is what I'm talking about. How does it make sense for this guy? Why does he have Barbie music? Tell me. What does his character have to do with Barbie? Is he Ken? Is he Ken?
I don't know. I don't know. I'm not gonna say he's not a flamboyant character.
He's not. I guess just because like the first thing you see is what he's wearing, but again, as the team, it worked.
Mm-hmm.
I just can't like.
Were they using the same entrance music as a team?
I think so. Don't quote me on that. I could be completely wrong. As a team, they worked because they were good. They did bounce off each other, and they were very, very good at it. I don't know if it's going to work on his own. I think that's one of those. They could have said, "Hey, disappear for a month or two, come up with something else, and we start to look at it." Yeah.
The talent when you're a singles wrestler and you get promoted to it's too strong. Who would be at his status that he could fight regularly?
What? Ilya Dragunov, I guess. It's going to be people like that.
Is that entertaining and is that something we want to see?
Yeah.
Like he fought Zack Ryder, okay, but when I saw that happen live, I'm like, well, Cardona's
it's one and done now. It's one of those matches. It's one and done. Yeah,
and Cardona's fresh meat, so they're going to put him over, right? So that's I just see him being like the new Miz. He'll be on that mid card, maybe just below mid card talent, putting people over.
When did wrestling actually drop into this abyss? The more I talk, the more we're expounding upon knowledge and sharing it with our students here and bringing them up to that intellectual prowess. It's like the more I think about it, when did this drop off occur? When did sports entertainment get pushed out of wrestling? Because wrestling is now, like when you guys are talking about it, when we're talking about guys like that, to me, I'd have more fun watching paint dry than watching that. These guys are not larger than life. There's no it factor to them at all. They just look like a regular dude at the gym. That's it.
This guy, I think he is over.
Yeah, but to who, Badesh Suave? The internet wrestling fans? That's it? Is he over globally? Is he over to the casual viewer? No.
Okay, let's watch this. He was on Chris Van Vliet. It came out this morning.
Okay.
Chris Van, hang on. Don't get all pissed off at me, pal. I'm your co-host here. Chris Van Vliet, I think he releases X amount of videos a month, and then he ranks them based off views.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see who gets more views, Kit Wilson or Paul London.
Well, that's probably why he did it, see? He probably did. Okay. If I will for a minute here. He knew that Paul London, the legend himself, dear buddy of ours, he knew that by putting that out, that's the top of the top. Yeah, that's the mountaintop, right? So he follows it with this lesser guy down here. I'm telling you right now, that interview is not going to go anywhere near Paul London's, because Paul, our dear buddy, first of all, the man is a genius in pro wrestling. He understands it through and through. He's old school. He was in the last era where it crossed over and hit the casual fan, which will rope them back in. This new guy, I hadn't even heard of him until you mentioned him. And when you showed me a picture of him, I just look at him and think he looks like a damn mess. That doesn't look like a champion to me. Looks like an idiot. So, I mean, I'm just being honest. I'm being honest. It's like, if I hurt anybody's itty bitty feelings, oh, well, that's life. I'm not here to please you. I'm here to share and move it along in the narrative that we believe. Like I've said, I've made that stance before. We're here for sports entertainment. That's it. We're talking, right, Martin?
Yeah, and again, that's like a hard comparison to do, because obviously, as Amir said, with Paul coming up when there was tons of house shows, and the contracts were completely different. It was like the more you work, the more you got paid. So you wanted to be on house shows, you wanted to be on pay-per-views, and the higher up on the pay-per-views, you got paid more and stuff like that. It was a completely different time period. So like Paul's got such a wealth more of knowledge to open up about and talk about. Whereas, and again, this isn't Kid's fault. Ours was the same thing. You get paid a lot of money and you work once a week. It doesn't compare. And that's the thing that frustrates me the most, because I always wanted that. Give
the road schedule.
Yeah, I always wanted that. I want it to be working constantly. Yes, it's a grind. Yes, but that's what I got into the business for. That's what made me fall in love with wrestling.
Yeah,
it's just like, you knew that they were out there all the time, touring and traveling, and
Yeah, the difference between Paul and this other guy, Barbie Man, the difference is Paul, like I said, Paul lives. He's been around the world. Yeah. He teaches people. He understands booking. He understands this. He doesn't sit on his ass backstage playing video games. He's out expanding his horizons. He's visiting, nature, historical sites. He's experienced life. This is what I'm saying. This new guy, what the heck is he what's he going to educate you about? Seriously, you're going to sit there? I'm not going to listen to the guy's interview, quite frankly, because how old is he, first of all, Swap? Do you know how old this guy is?
Oh, I don't know. Maybe maybe late 20s, early 30s.
Okay.
I say, because
all right.
he was coming up after I'd been let go the first time. Mm-hmm. So when I went back home for a bit, he was up in the ranks. So he's such a nice guy. He really is. He's such a nice guy.
Hey, I'm not saying he personally. Again,
yeah, I see where you're coming from. Yeah,
personally, I'm never taking a shot at anybody. Right? We're talking about in this fictitious make-believe world called pro wrestling. That's all we're talking about here. Mm-hmm. The business side of that fictitious world. I want you students to understand that. I would never put someone down personally unless they were a total friggin' idiot. I'm talking about the character, right? Mm-hmm. So the character himself, what does he have to offer at such a young age? Being in, like I said, Paul's been in friggin' MLW. He's been to Australia. He's been to Japan. He's been all around the world. He's done podcasts. He does seminars. He's got a school. How much more value does the Paul London interview hold over this guy just recounting to you what he did, in his spare time in the performance center? Yeah. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah,
it's the value of what they can share. That's all I'm saying. But anyway, I digress. I'm going to kick it back over to one of you. Martin, you've got some information. You were telling me about a certain WWE performer. Speaking of Chris Van Vliet, who you were close with at one time. Do you want to share that story?
Yeah. So if anyone remembers, I was part of the first ever NXT UK tournament in Blackpool, England, and it was the launch of NXT UK, probably to combat World of Sport that was that had just started shooting pilots and stuff. And I wanted to clear this up because it still irks me to this day. But JD McDonough went on, was a guest on Chris Van Vliet and told a highly inaccurate tale of actually what happened. Mm-hmm. And it honestly, with what he said, it cost me a few bookings because promoters started to look at me as being, he doesn't want to, he's not willing to work with people. And to hear him say, I gave him a super kick, he hit the back of his head on the mat, his head busted open. So I pinned him and told him to stay down, but yet he still kicked out. And that really, excuse my language, pisses me off. Mm-hmm. When in fact what happened was it was an accidental kick to the back of my head as I landed. And when I kicked out, I didn't hit the back of my head. As he pinned me and we kicked out because we were going to the next part of the match, the ref called for the bell. So then in my head, I'm like, wow, we have just gone over time. This is live. We have we've ruined whatever. And that's when I look at the ref and he's like, you're bleeding. And I was like, what do you mean? And then as I sat up, obviously all the blood's on the mat and stuff like that. So it was just an accident. Mm-hmm. But to spin the narrative that it was, he hit his head, wasn't my fault, and then he kicked it. Like just that there was, again, I'm not there anymore, so you don't need to drag my name through the mud. Mm-hmm. Like just, piss off, leave me out of it. So just wanted to clear that up.
Yeah, I never had any no love lost for that guy. That guy is after that ridiculous move. Remember when you sent me that Bodacious Suave when he almost broke his neck when they threw him back against the ring? Because obviously he called for that spot because he's, again, a sensationalist, just trying to use whatever sensational moves he can to get over because he can't get over based on his character. Let's just call a spade a spade. That's exactly what it is. I never understood his involvement with the Judgment Day. I thought he was one of the weakest links in that. Yes, Martin?
Finn Balor's student.
Oh, then that explains it. That explains it. Hold on one second. We got a super chat here. This definitely is from one of our true loyal fans because he's listening. He hit that super chat. That's what fuels the juggernaut that is the Masters of Wrestling. That's what's fueling the truth. He says, Martin Geordie lad here. Show the bros UK humor.
Well, I'm upset you said bros because that's not a British thing, mate. Come on. Come on, John. But I appreciate that, my man. Thank you. Yeah. I'm trying, mate. Just a lot of people do not get my sense of humor. So,
believe me, I tell you what, I get the same thing, Martin. When we're from the homeland, when we're from the motherland, the land that birthed these here United States, because that's what created it. A lot of Americans, Bodacious Suave, you're up there in Canada. You're part of the motherland too.
You're part of the Commonwealth. You're safe.
You're safe. You've got our monarchy on your currency up there. You've got it all. You've got everything that we have from the homeland.
Yeah, you want to come live here in the -30 weather and 20
hey,
inches
this
of
is going to make you laugh. So the weather right here now in Florida, it's colder here than it is in London right now.
Really? What's the temperature right now, Martin?
It's like 30 odd. Which
30 degrees. That's freezing. That's 2 degrees below freezing.
I mean, it's cold for Florida.
Us were 30 below freezing.
But I was going to say, we're saying 30, and obviously
with 12 inches.
The weather right now is it's 51 with a chill factor of 34.
Wow, darn man. Well, I'm just vacationing.
This morning it was 32. And then next week, apparently, it's supposed to be as cold as 18.
That's pretty bad, man.
I want it to snow, but I'm sure it's not going to.
No, it's not going to snow in Florida. I may take a trip.
I haven't seen snow since 2010, and it really upsets me.
You know what? I may just do that. Bodacious Suave. I may just take. Oh yeah, there you go. The Quebecers.
Well, that's because Maltz 92. He goes, Quebec isn't part of Canada. Vive Quebec libre. So there you go, Quebecers.
Quebec isn't part of Canada. Vive Quebec libre. That's right.
I got to just say something. I got a nice phone call in the hospital on Thursday when I was doing chemo. And you know this guy, Amir. Jacques Rougeau called me.
The Mountie, yes.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, that was a nice phone call. I mean, everyone was awesome. Paul London was great. The Hearts were great. But Jacques Rougeau did call me, and my mom was there. And my mom's like, Jacques Rougeau's calling you?
Oh, that's fantastic.
And he's a class act, that man.
Yeah, so that was a nice phone call. My mom was just kind of like, oh my God, my son knows Jacques Rougeau. And I was like, "Hey, Doc, how are you?" He goes, "I'm just checking on you, man, and make sure you're okay." And like,
Yeah. True legend, man. We have to get him and Ray both back on the show. You know, as I said, Ray, tremendous gentleman. You know, two men. Tremendous.
I hated all the controversy that happened with them and the Dynamite Kid.
Do you know about it? Do you know about it?
I've seen so many different. Like, obviously, I've heard the stories, but I hate that fact because now when I watch their matches, because they had some of their tag matches were phenomenal.
Yeah.
And just SummerSlam '88 just taints that match a little bit for me because I'm like, someone took a rib too far and tried it on too much, and just it's. I mean, I get it. Hey, if you're gonna keep barking, then you got to bark back. But
oh man, every time you say bark, I think back to that Jim Cornette promo when he turned the British Bulldog and he says, "This is one dog whose bite's a whole lot worse than his bark," or something like that. I remember that. Brilliant when they turned it. But we got a question here from Matt Bannister, our dear, valuable channel member. This man has decided to not spend his $4.99 on a cup of coffee today. He invested it in the Masters of Wrestling to fuel this juggernaut, and this is why he gets to ask questions on every single live stream. I have a question, fellow masters. I like the way he addressed us. He understands. He's a master himself. Lui, il est un maître, comme on dit en français, as we say in French. What are your thoughts with Drew McIntyre becoming once again WWE champion? I personally absolutely love it.
I'll go.
You go.
He's just holding the belt for Sami Zayn to beat him at the Royal Rumble.
You would have to be the killjoy on this bodacious swath. That is not what he's asking. Matt is asking, what do you think about it in general, like him being champion?
Well, he deserves it. I mean, he should. Yeah. He could definitely be a top guy on the roster, right?
Yeah, he should be a top guy on the roster.
I mean,
it's hard to say he's not, but it's just the way he's booked at times. It just doesn't.
Can you really see Sami Zayn beating him clean on top of it? Can you really freaking see it? You could.
I can.
I tell you what, man, that is.
But it'll make no sense. It'll make no sense, though.
No.
You beat Gunther clean for the IC title, and that didn't make sense.
And how long did he hold the title for? Wasn't long.
He didn't hold it for long, but it wasn't in a foreign country where they're looking to potentially sell.
If I may,
I'm not saying it's going to be like I'm not saying it's going to be like a year-long run or anything like that, but it's not going to be. And again, if I'm wrong, then I hold my hands up to it. I'm just going to be very surprised.
Hey. Boys, are we doing
all these deals and what they're trying to do with everything? I can't see him winning at the Rumble and then coming back and 2 weeks later lose. I can't see it. I cannot see it.
Are we doing a watch-along?
I'm not watching the Royal Rumble. You couldn't pay me. I don't know, viewers. Hey, if you want to pay us to watch the Royal Rumble in your reaction video,
streak of not watching a WWE pay-per-view.
I have not watched a WWE pay-per-view in its entirety live.
The last one I watched was Mania when Cody finished the story.
Did you get a refund for that?
Yeah, that show gave me a lot of hope. Because all that show was special.
Okay.
It was a rebranding, it was a relaunch, and I was like, maybe they are going to turn this around.
You know, honestly, the last pay-per-view I ever really, like when I really dig back into the recesses of my mind, was WrestleMania 20. That was it. That was in Madison Square Garden when Triple H and Chris Benoit and all that. That's the last one I can remember watching. I think I watched it with Chris Masters. I was out here. We were doing.
I trained with Chris maybe a week before that.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe 2 weeks before that show. Yeah.
Yeah. That was probably the last one. I mean, I don't know if you viewers want to sponsor us to watch the Royal Rumble and give us your. I mean, hey, I mean, we could do it. I mean, I'm not going to volunteer to do it, bodacious swath. I mean, I got better things to do for 20 hours than watch the Royal Rumble. It's about 20 hours.
I will happily do a watch along of old pay-per-views like 2000 era.
Oh yeah.
You know, I watched the other day SummerSlam 2000, SummerSlam 2002, Kurt and Rey Mysterio opener. That show was amazing.
Okay,
I will. Go ahead, bodacious swath.
I got to give a shout out to a few people here.
Go ahead.
WWE Vault just they put out some like I think opening matches of Royal Rumbles yesterday, and there was Stevie Richards against Spike Dudley.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Great match, and the referee was Jacqueline.
Oh wow, interesting.
Wow.
Now, and Victoria was the valet for Stevie Richards. Victoria, if you're watching.
No, that was awesome, that group. Yeah.
Hey, Victoria, if you are watching, hold on, Martin.
Sorry.
Victoria, if you are watching, the Bodacious Suave is married, so please ignore his advances. Continue, Martin.
So those two as a couple was awesome. I loved every part of that.
But the fact that Jacqueline played the referee, like, go watch it. It's a 5-6 minute match. But
damn, I thought you were going to say it's a 5-star match. I was about to slap you through the screen, but
it was entertaining and fast paced and well done. Victoria got involved. Jacqueline as a referee, wow. Like, you wouldn't even know that was Jacqueline. Like, she did such a great job, in my opinion, as a referee. Martin, like, if you want to watch it, that'd be great, and see if I'm.
Yeah, I will. No, I will for
sure. You were in the business, so if you can just see, like, especially the female referee in the year 2004, she was loud, she was energetic, like, she did such a great job. And I'm like, you know what? She should be a referee today, other than these females they have. And I heard too that being a referee is a good way to get into the business. That's where you learn a lot of stuff.
I garnered a lot of respect for what refs go through while I was in developmental, because the way they get spoken to on their headsets and their faces are completely, hey, are you good? You good? Can you continue? And they tell them to tell them to go home now. What are you doing? And they're getting yelled at. Because I'd be like, headset off, and I'd quit.
Well, Martin,
like seriously,
Martin, we've actually had a referee pop up in our chats today. Yes, we have, and she actually said it is going to rain in Florida on Saturday. Again, she said it's going to snow on Saturday, and so it will actually be snowing.
That would be my wife. She is a referee in the wrestling world.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah,
I'll get your number after off Amir, and I'll just send it to you. It's like at the last match of the Vault, like a 2-hour thing, but go to the last match, and it was just great. And they used Victoria as the finish. Like, she was going to climb off the top rope and jump on, but I think Spike hit the rope, so she falls. She tilts over. He does a springboard off her back for that Dudley Bulldog, and match over. But I just find Jacqueline did such a good job. And kind of made the match to it. It helped him, because you have to have a good referee to make the match, right? If your referee that you see on the indie shows is overweight, slow, and just one, like it can kill the vibe.
Look at some of the greatest referees that we remember: Nick Patrick, Earl Hebner, Dave Hebner, right? Danny Davis, Joey Morella. All these referees that strike. Mike Chioda, these referees that really ring a bell. I don't know who these new referees are. I don't even remember their names. I don't know who they are from week to week. I know this guy. The only thing I do know is that one female wrestler in referee in AEW, but I don't know what the heck her name is. But just because she's been plastered everywhere, that's the only reason I know her face visually. I don't know who she is. I don't know what value she has. You know what I mean? So.
And she thinks she's over, by the way.
Really? She does?
Oh, it's been pretty quiet now, but back when AEW was much hotter, she thought she was like it. And you don't know who I am? I'm the main referee on AEW. I was like, oh, come on.
Wow. Main referee. They built an entire company around an unknown referee.
To me, guys, this is just me, but you're just a piece of the puzzle. You should not be the main attraction of the match.
Exactly. It's like everybody, let's look at WWE. You're a piece of the puzzle unless you're Uncle Paul. Bottom line. That's it.
We are all a piece of the puzzle. There's the guys, and again, you can only really say this from back in the day, but now I feel that this is what the problem is with wrestling, and why we don't have, and why the fans have dropped off, apart from the storytelling. Especially WWE, they are selling a show. They are selling Raw. They're selling SmackDown. They're selling that at Madison Square Garden, not Stone Cold Steve Austin versus The Rock.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're selling a whole show. So 50-50 booking, which doesn't do anyone any favors.
Mm-hmm.
I appreciate that. Oh, hey, you're not going out there and getting squashed in 10 seconds, so at least you're like, well, yeah, this really sucks, but, this is my job tonight. So I get it from that performer perspective that it's like, oh, at least I get to get out there and show some stuff.
Yeah.
50-50 booking, no one gets ahead. Everyone just goes ahead. So again, the whole show goes forward. So that's what that's the main thing I think is lacking.
Do you think it's a concerted effort to do that, or do you literally think these people have become so delusional, so stupid, so jaded that they don't even realize what they're doing? Or do you actually think it's a legit plan that they said, hey, moving forward, we're going to do this and we're not going to create any stars anymore, and we're going to this is the new format? What do you think?
This is just my opinion. Obviously, the last star, the last main draw was John Cena. That was the last person that was pushed as a genuine main eventer.
Wait a minute, Martin here. Wait a minute. I've been distracted by Red Fox. I think actually Red Fox, our dear correspondent, has been, I don't know if he's half asleep or if he's got lack of sleep or something, but he did actually, I'm going to bring this comment up on the screen for our students to digest what the Red Fox just said to me, why I'm getting heated right now. Michelle McCool, an AEW ref, I guess that's her name, Aubrey Edwards, are the cornerstones of this business. You guys need to pay them more respect. Honestly, Red Fox, if you've been smoking something, you need to stop smoking right now, pal.
I sense sarcasm on Red Fox.
Yeah, I've got to. Yeah,
that's what it is.
I hope so.
Yeah, so getting back to the last, I think the apart, obviously Cena was well established as he was, a historic career, and the last person that was really just had the rocket just pushed up them, and it's like, okay, tonight you get to see John Cena at Madison Square Garden versus whoever, right? They would have been able to do that with Bray Wyatt, but I think in lieu of the fact that because they're trying to sell a product, not a wrestler. And again, this is just my opinion. This is just my opinion. So this isn't anything I've heard or anything. This is just my opinion.
Martin, when you say it here, it's not opinion, it's fact, it's gospel. Continue.
Okay. That's why I feel Bray was let go the first time before he came back, because he was starting to get over in pop culture. He was starting to get mentioned outside of the company. And I think that the model that he didn't at that time, he didn't fit the model of that they wanted to do that. And again, just my opinion.
Well, if you say there were people that were jealous of him back then that kind of silenced him, I mean, as crazy as it may sound, he passed away at the peak of his character run, which was very odd. I remember thinking that was a very strange turn of events that he suddenly passed when he was.
He had the match and then he had all the complications and he disappeared.
Right, but he was the hottest star that they
by
had.
far.
Right. Well, I'm going to leave it there. I'm not going to go into any conspiracies, but I'm going to leave it right there. If you catch my drift.
I got a conspiracy.
What is it, Bodacious Suave?
Martin, did you ever work with Terry Taylor?
Yes, he's one of my favorite.
Yeah.
I was very fortunate that he mentored me. So
okay. Let me go on to something else. Did WWE not say a month ago that they will not be hiring people? About a month ago.
What do you mean not?
Like they won't be bringing in new talent, and if there's any AEW releases, we are not hiring. Oh, guys, come on. People in the chat, I got two lazy hosts over here.
Hey, I'm just waiting for Martin to answer.
No, the only thing I've heard is that now they're actually looking, they're turning back to the independent wrestling scene, because now they're looking for guys that are in shape and can talk and aren't athletes from a farm anymore.
Yeah, their formula is changing, and I think it's going to be done by William Regal.
Yeah,
but before
which is how it always was. It was always Regal.
But just before that, they were announcing there's a hiring freeze, and
Oh, wow.
we're not hiring anybody.
I mean, it makes sense.
Well, they got enough people. They don't need any more.
There's no TV time for anyone.
Okay,
Yeah.
so I'm gonna go into two things. So WWE said that. So sorry, they are a full of shit company because they just hired Powerhouse Hobbs.
Well, that's true. Actually, they did. They hired him, which they've
And
renamed him Royce Keys, by the way.
The bad
You hear
news
that
is-
name? You hear that name, Bodacious One? His name is now
Yeah.
Royce Keys.
Well, that's what I got in my front driveway. But
Well, we all have our Rolls Royces, Bodacious Swab, but I'm just saying, Royce Keys is his name. Think about it. But anyway, continue.
Martin, what do you think of this comment? It's nothing about him, but I think he's just going to be another guy on the roster.
If they capitalize on what he's been doing, then it could, like, I hope he doesn't go to NXT because that will just be a complete waste.
I thought of that. They might do that.
That's my only thing, like, because
Oh, they will. You know why? They will put him back there. Martin, we forgot about Obi-Wan Kenobi. The Force is with you. We forgot about that guy. What's his name? Obi-Wan Kenobi, the guy that everyone keeps ranting.
Yeah,
Obi-Wan. They keep ranting and raving about Obi-Wan, right? And saying that he's the next big star.
He's debuting at the Rumble. That's the only person I've heard that might be making their debut at the Rumble.
So, but you know what? It's like, so why bring in Hobbs? Why bring in and Royce Keys? What's the purpose if you have Obi-Wan Kenobi? The Force is with you. Why bother? Why bring him in? To squash him? To show that AEW is the inferior product, and they have Obi-Wan just annihilate him, relegate him.
Vince did back in the day when he started hiring talent from WCW, right?
Yep.
Royally screwed up the NWO. So,
hey, I got something I want to bring up, but I should Suave, you weren't here with us last week. Vince McMahon's on his way back to the WWE. It's finally happened. The Vin Man, Vinnie Mac, Shawn Michaels' best buddy. He's on his way back. All right. So, do you think he's going to come out in Saudi at the Royal Rumble where he'd be welcomed? Do you think he's going to come out?
That wouldn't be a bad thing. That would get us talking the next day. No,
I wouldn't see it being a bad thing. Like,
nope.
Again, here's the thing. So obviously, yes, what you're doing on one hand is working, but also to that point, what you're also doing on the other hand isn't working. So at this point, it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
You know.
I mean, that Royal Rumble's heating up to be something else, man. That's heating up to be something else. We know that Saudi Arabia have built a WWE stadium. Now, why do you build a permanent structure? Because you plan on having quite a few events out there on a regular basis when the sale of WWE to Saudi takes place. We know that Chris Jericho has been absent from all. We need to come up with a new name for AEW, but nonetheless, he's been absent from AEW. Now, is he going to be coming back at the Royal Rumble? This is still, up in the air.
Number 30, he's got.
But I heard he's still on their roster page.
Oh, really?
Yeah, he's still on the roster page. But again, WWE said we're not hiring, so that's Powerhouse Hobbs and probably Y2J and maybe some random superstar as a surprise. So
this is all some big work, and then Jericho
you're full of shit.
AEW pay-per-view. That'd be awesome.
What did you say, Martin?
I said if this is all one big work and Jericho comes back on a random AEW pay-per-view, that'd be awesome.
That's what I think would be better and might. Yeah, it would. I don't know.
You know what I would do? This is what I was doing. And I've texted this to my Uncle Paul time and time again. I said, if you're not really bringing in Chris Jericho, I just had the pleasure of chatting with Lenny Lane, right? The man is a genius. The man looks like a younger version of Chris Jericho. The man can still go. I would bring Lenny Lane back in and put him in the Royal Rumble, and I'd have him do on the gimmick that he did in WCW, and I would take a shot straight at AEW. I would start taking shots. That's TV. That's exactly what I would do.
Yeah,
I'd bring in Lenny Lane.
That whole thing, what a pleasure it was to listen to. Like he was awesome. He was so good.
Yeah,
his brain and his mind and his thinking for the job is fantastic.
Yeah.
What is Terry Taylor's role? He's in part of NXT enhancement training.
Yeah, so when I first got there, Terry was what was known as the finishing coach, and he was the last coach you would go to before you would get called up. So he would put like the finishing touches on you. He would go into, storytelling, working a hold, not just sitting there and like you start wrestling and everyone's reversing everything in 2 seconds flat and, actually establishing a hold, making it mean something, always going back to it. Just basic wrestling storytelling.
Smart man.
Terry is he gets no credit, but if you guys want to go and see peak Terry Taylor, him in the UWF, the American one, he was absolutely like just night and day, like such a great worker. Anyway, then when Shawn came in, it kind of split. So then you had the Shawn clones and the ones that the man can do no wrong in his class, who was the finishing coach, and then you had Terry as well. And I was very, very fortunate to be in Terry's class, and I was with Terry for my entire time there.
Do you know the event? It's called the Big Event. They do 2 a year in New York.
Big Event.
Yeah, it's an autograph convention signing. They do it in close to New York City. I can't remember.
The one in not Poughkeepsie.
No.
I think yeah, it's a big convention. Yeah.
Yeah, I think in Brentwood, New York. It's the one that Rico went to, Amir, not that long ago. Mass P's 101. I see it there. That's my friend Mass. But just go off topic. Terry Taylor got booked for March to do an autograph signing at a convention. Red Fox, there you go. Terry Fox, Terry Fox. Actually, that's a question. Do you guys know who Terry Fox is?
I mean,
but this is what I'm thinking. Is Terry Taylor only going there to possibly recruit young talent? Because there's a lot of indie wrestlers that are also booked for this convention. So is he going to be doing handshake deals and trying to bring someone to the WWE?
I mean,
because I found that to be extremely odd. Terry Taylor.
Well, I mean, again, we are allowed to take outside work as long as it's booked through the company. So I ended up doing 3 indie shows while under contract because it was booked through the company. So you can book the talent. So I mean, that could be, but I mean, it's well known that back when PWG was a thing, Mr. Regal and Canyon Seaman would be at their like big shows each time. Like their main show that they would do, they were always there scouting. So maybe. But if there's a lot of indie talent there in matches and guys that are making buzz, I'm sure Mr. Regal will be there.
I think it's going to take him a long time to find the caliber of talent.
Someone on the indie, yeah.
Well, these are top name indie workers, by the way.
Yeah, but are we talking top indie workers that are in really good shape and can talk?
Yeah. Talk, I don't know, but I mean, they're known. I mean, to get booked at a wrestling convention, they must be a draw.
I've seen some real bad people get booked at a wrestling convention. So,
yeah, no, that's what I was going to say. But
it's not like a creme de la creme,
I don't think Terry Taylor's an idiot, right? 85% backstage. So, okay, they might have the list. And I'm just guessing. Okay, we see them guys. They're all booked at this convention. Terry, go talk to them. But if they fail the "Hey, how are you?" test, Terry's going to say, "Okay, scrap."
The problem is this: the problem is this. We need to find a crop of guys that are actually guys. All right, we need to find. Look at the Minnesota crew. Look at Smash, Barry Darso, Rick Rude, Jesse the Body Ventura, Kurt Hennig. Right, they were guys.
The
Warlord, the Road Warriors. Right. You are going to have to, it's going to be a needle in a haystack. And that's what they need to scout now. They need to start looking for that caliber of talent, not the video gamers, not the guys who play Dungeons and Dragons and then repeat what they see in a wrestling ring. That's not pro wrestling. They need to find guys, yes, Maltz, exactly what you said, real tough guys. They need to find a slew of them who are not coming in to make gags and comedy and stupid memes and bullshit like that. They need to find guys who, number one, can act. Yes, Scott Flash Norton, Scott Steiner. You're looking for guys who are there. Steve Wilton on the Ultimate Truth podcast said some beautiful words, some encouraging words for us when we were talking about the Ultimate Warrior. The Warrior was doing business. He was there to work. Okay. He understood the magnitude of his character. He came to entertain fans and make money. He was not there to impress old Dave Meltzer with 5 stars because he understood his place in the card. Bret the Hitman Hart, the best there is, the best there was, the best there ever will be. He was a technical wrestler who grew up in the business. Totally different ball of wax. Bret wasn't a mark. It's just that's all he knew. All right. And he was a legend at it. But he had his place. So you need a variant of a roster. And right now I fear, Martin, that even if they put him out there, they're going to find the same repetition on the indies because our dear buddy Vince Russo said it the best. You saw that interview. Mm-hmm. He said, Ken Kennedy said, well, I got a school. So what do? Tell my wrestlers to not bother training to wrestle? He said, no, that's not the point. But if you train them all and you've got 500 students and you train them all to be great wrestlers, you got 500 of the same damn guy. Yeah. There's no bloody difference between any one of them. There's no individuality, right? You're training everyone to repeat the same move set, to do the same spots and the same moves. Why the hell am I going to try and train a guy who's 6'10" to do a bloody Hurricane Rana? Why am I a 6'10", 7-footer? Is he going to go to the top rope? No. Is he going to do technical moves? No.
So boots and choke slams.
Exactly. Hire and know where you are. If you've got a theatrical guy, let him work the theatrics. If he's 5'4" and flies around the ring, okay, fine, fair enough. Light on his feet is Rey Mysterio. They're training everybody with the same paintbrush, and I ain't gonna cut it anymore.
It's tough because I can see how guys that are coming up, I can see why they do that because it's what they see on TV. So they're like, oh my God, I've got to do that because then, that's where I want to work. And, if I do it better than them, then I'll get a job. And I can tell you, young wrestlers, if you're out there trying to get looked at or anything, like, you don't need to do that. Like the basics done really, really well and selling and taking your time and storytelling, that's going to catch eyes so much more, especially if Mr. Riga was back on that process of finding talent. Okay, yeah, you can go up the top rope 50 million times. That will not impress him.
Plus,
it's the little things.
Plus, it looks bloody stupid, Martin and Bodacious Suave. If a 6'4" guy starts friggin' doing drop kicks, I don't even think I ever saw my Uncle Paul do a drop kick. I know I never saw the Warrior do a drop kick. No, didn't need to. Yeah. Looks stupid. Why would he do that? He's overpowering the other guys. He's got strength in his shoulders. Again, it's common sense. I think that's the beauty of what Russo was saying. It's essentially common bloody sense.
Wrestling's
right?
Not
who are you?
Really
who are you? Who are you? And you're not that guy. Every wrestler out there is not the Young Bucks, and they don't need to be the Young Bucks. That's them.
Got that. Yeah, we have that. Okay. So,
right.
Okay. Chances are being able to do what they do better than them is 0. So do something else. But, I never did anything flashy. Right. But the fact that people still appreciate what I did and making wrestling look real, I was clearly different than everybody else on the card.
Exactly. Well, look at the Warlord, our dear buddy Terry, the Warlord, Bodacious Suave. He never had to do anything. He was bigger than everybody. Why would he even, some of the guys, I remember someone drop kicking him once or doing stuff, and he kind of brushed him off. I think it was Ricky Steamboat. Kind of just brushed him off his chest because he's twice his freaking size. He didn't need to do anything, right?
If we're supposed to suspend belief, it's, yeah.
Yeah, exactly. So, again, you got to have differences. But we got the JCW report from our dear correspondent, Mohammed. Martin, have you got that on your phone? Bodacious Suave, did you see it yet? I emailed it. I don't know if I emailed it to you.
No, you didn't. You didn't.
Okay, so Martin has it here. So,
Okay, so the show starts with Vito bursting into Russo's office right after last week's episode went off air. He tells Russo he was the reason he was attacked. Says Russo doesn't know the streets and that he remains untouched because Vito has been protecting him. Russo tells Vito he can't control his temper, but Vito fires back that he's always been protecting him. Russo says next week's episode will feature a fight with his attackers. Vito tells Russo he's going to regret his decision. Next is sorry, please go on.
I was going to say, so already right out of the gate, you've created a mysterious backstory, and you've already hooked me for next week. Brilliant TV writing. Right there. Bodacious Suave, would you not agree?
I like it so far.
Yep.
There's
there you go.
It makes sense.
Last week's show was like there were so many dips and turns that it all tied back in at the end. It was like I think it was what was it, an hour and 10 minutes or hour and 15 or whatever. It wasn't long, and I was just like, this is really, really good. Next is a segment with Kerry Morton ordering the cameraman to follow him so he can talk to the Ring Rat, Jeeves, and Caleb Conley.
Just when you say Ring Rat makes me laugh.
The fact they have a character called Ring Rat, it kills me. I mean, that's brilliant.
Right.
It's different.
Yeah, exactly.
She's not really that.
Right.
Exactly. But it's just and again, it's Vince's hey, let's take real stuff and put it, let's not ignore it and actually put it in this,
Yeah.
Morton keeps referring to the Ring Rat with a crude nickname. Yeah. Morton tells Conley he's upset at the outcome of last week's match because of Matt Cross's involvement. Conley denies it and tells Morton he can beat him without help. Morton says he's going to find Russo and figure out whether Conley had anything to do with Matt Cross. Jeeves tells Conley he has a match tonight, but Conley has no interest in accompanying him or helping him.
Perfect. You're creating tension there between these wrestlers already. You've created an interesting backstage segment, and we haven't even got to ringside yet. Brilliant.
Right. And
bravo.
This is the key point as to what Mohammed said. 8 minutes in, and we've already had 2 segments advancing 2 storylines.
That's TV right there. And again, I'm sorry, anybody out there, like I said, what we're trying to make the distinction here, we're not saying that you shouldn't be a purist wrestling fan or, as they call them, the internet wrestling fans. That's fine. You're entitled to like what you want. But right here, we appreciate sports entertainment, and that's what Russo's doing. I think wrestling is a TV product unless there's no cameras there. If there's no cameras there and it's just a house show, sure, that's old school wrestling. But, sports entertainment has brought it to the dance. Anyway, continue, Martin.
This is exactly what the Attitude Era Raws used to do. Everyone had their own storyline and there were continuous threads with little time for the viewer to even think about changing the channel. Yes. This is what Russo does best, and his influence is clearly evident in JCW.
Absolutely.
I mean, honestly, at that point, you could leave the review there because it's. So
I mean, already that's must-see TV. Already, he's pulled me in just with the characters, the name. Matthew, you want to say something? I see you inching up there towards the microphone.
Oh no, I'm good.
No,
you're good. Okay, all right. Okay, yeah, that's what I'm saying. Okay. It's just continue, Martin.
At the 9-minute mark, we get our first match. A triple threat between Nick Nemeth, James Storm, and Ken Anderson, with the winner getting a title shot against Matt Cardona at the end of the show. That's 4 big names with WWE and TNA pedigree. Personally, I wasn't a fan of Ziggler in the last 5 or so years of his WWE run. He felt stale, like he was going through the motions, and he looked checked out due to the lack of direction.
Likewise in TNA, total nonstop assholes. Yep, continue, Martin.
Here in JCW, he looks rejuvenated. I think AJ Styles, Finn Balor, and The Miz could also use with a similar change of scenery. Nemeth comes out first. Storm is out next, but gets attacked by Mr. Anderson on the entrance ramp, which prompts the bell. Nemeth sits back at first and watches Anderson and Storm fight outside the ring. I love the way Nemeth put his feet up on the turnbuckle to watch them fight. Very reminiscent of the Bodacious Suave's favorite wrestler, Shawn Michaels.
Wow, he even took a shot at you, but
no, he didn't. He didn't. I just added that. I'm kidding. I was trying to get it right.
Okay.
I'm kidding. Nemeth eventually joins them outside as he and Storm take turns attacking Anderson. The commentators outline what's coming up on the show, which reminded me of Lawler and JR back in the day. It kept the viewer excited for what's to come. Another Russo touch.
Absolutely. And also, may I add, the commentators, they sound like pro wrestling commentators. Yep. They don't sound like they're straight out of ESPN.
Yeah, it doesn't sound scripted.
Exactly.
As much as I'm a big fan of Corey Graves, You know, I think I'm a big fan of Corey Graves.
But Aisha Swaff, should I eject him from this podcast right now?
Yeah, just cut him off. See, buddy.
Yeah.
Thank you for your 3 shows.
Hey, I
I
had a feud with him on the Indies back in 2000. I've known him a long time.
Okay.
And it just, for him, the way his career got cut short sucked.
Yeah.
That's what sucked about it.
Okay.
But I do think before, and again, I think he was exceptionally slighted when they went to Netflix and all the hard work he put in, and then he got bumped down to NXT.
It's just business, pal.
It's just business, pal.
I'm sure it is.
All right.
Anyway, the triple threat was very entertaining. These 3 have great chemistry with distinct styles and characters.
Yes.
And again, that's the key part there. They're all different. They're all throwing punches and kicks and doing whatever, but everyone's different.
Right.
Because they know who they are. They know what their characters are.
For me, too, look is also different. Like, I don't want to see every guy come out wearing black tights or black biker shorts, black trunks, shaved head. Like, look different. Because I know you guys can all do the same moves, but just look a little different. Someone have wrist tape, someone have no wrist tape. Like, these little things can all make a difference in the puzzle.
They got some tremendous, like I said, I'm really impressed with those zombie guys and their manager there. Very, very good team there.
Especially the guy who comes out with them. He's fantastic. He is absolutely fantastic.
Yeah, and you're not going to find that in the likes of Total Nonstop Assholes or AEW or World Whining Entertainment. But anyway, continue, Martin. There we go.
Nemeth is still very athletic. He hits the 10 standing elbow drops on Anderson, but only gets a 2 count. On a personal note, I was in attendance at Raw in Montreal in 2012 or 2013 when Ziggler hit Jerry Lawler with those elbow drops, resulting in Lawler having a heart attack shortly after at ringside. I was sitting in the crowd with my wife, and all of a sudden we saw Lawler slump over at the announce desk before being stretchered out. It was very scary. It was a very scary sight at the time. Thankfully, the King is still with us.
Mm-hmm.
Nemeth sets up for the super kick, but Anderson blocks it, hits a low blow, and nails that move he gave to Hornswoggle off the ladder at the Money in the Bank ladder match at WrestleMania 23. The fact that he remembers that spot just shows you it was a memorable moment and not just something that was passed over.
Exactly.
So they obviously took their time and let it breathe.
Yeah.
Whereas now it's what's next, what's next, what's next, what's next.
Yeah. Yeah.
Storm gets back in but eats the danger zone, formerly known as the zigzag. Anderson throws
the
Nemeth
danger
out.
zone is much better. The zigzag was ridiculous, childish. But anyway, continue, Martin.
Anderson throws Nemeth out and tries to steal the pin, but Storm rolls him up with a small package for the 3 count. Storm wins and will challenge Cardona for the title later tonight.
Perfect open. I mean, we're 15 minutes into the show here of an hour and 10-minute show.
Threat. Like the opening match is the match that sets the tone for the night.
Yeah,
I hate guys that I hate it when guys are like, oh, I'm in the opening match. Oh, and I'm like, and anytime if I have the chance to produce any shows that get asked to help out, I don't like to step on toes. You know, I don't be like, well, that's terrible. Don't do that. But to me, one of the best things that I got taught by Terry Taylor was the opening match it's basic wrestling up front. Mm-hmm. We establish who's the heel, who's the baby face. There's a cutoff. There's a bit of heat, and then the baby face makes his comeback and goes straight through. Mm-hmm. There's no trading forces. There's no booyah spot or a double down or anything like that. Just boom, 10 minutes, boom, 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 done. Establish who's the heel, who's the face, pop the house, start them off hot. So that is exactly what it was. It was a great match. It was a perfect opener.
But then again, if you're doing TV, you've just implicated the main event. You've already pitched us what's going on next week. You've got a mystery, and then you've got a B storyline, which unfolded with the ring rat and all that crew backstage. Yeah. This is in the first 15 minutes, but Aisha Swaff. This is what I call award-winning television. This is where, and again, like I said, I want to say to the viewers out there, I don't want to trigger anybody out there. If you're a purist wrestling fan, obviously this discussion is not going to be for you because you're not going to like it because that's not what we're about here. We're about sports entertainment. So at the end of the day, but in terms of sports entertainment, Martin, that kind of TV has not been told in about 15 or 20 years.
But
Okay,
again, even back in the like Naked Midian had a storyline. Like everybody had a storyline. It might not have been like what was headlining the card, but everyone was doing something.
But that's exactly the puzzle. Everyone had a piece.
Yeah.
Today it's just okay, go. We don't know what we're doing.
Well, yeah. Remember what my Uncle Paul did last Royal Rumble when he sent? Remember when he sent that little twerp I show speed out in the Royal Rumble? That was last minute BS crap.
Yeah, they're booking week to week, and I refuse to believe that they're not. Yeah.
Yeah, they don't have foresight.
I got a little story for you, just to show you how a match got constructed, and I guess it really shit the bed. But also, Matt Bannister, this is for you. It's a Calgary story when I was just in Calgary with Brett. And Brett told a story of how an earthquake, he was telling an earthquake story. He told 2 earthquake stories. But he goes, we had a match. It was at a house show. I guess it was him, Jim Neidhart, against Dino Bravo and Earthquake. So they're backstage going over the match. And Bravo and Earthquake go, okay, so here's what we're going to do. We're just going to beat you. 1, 2, 3, and that's it.
Brilliant.
So Brett's like, what the hell? Like, it doesn't, like, where's the comeback? Where are the baby faces? What the hell? Right?
Yeah.
So Earthquake and Bravo, they stuck by it. And I guess Brett was like, you know what? I'll let you guys take the heat on this with the agents at the time, like Chief Jay Strongbow. So they go out, they do it. So it's like 10, 12 minutes of just beating.
12-minute squash match, essentially. Yeah.
Right? And then 1, 2, 3.
You know, gentlemen, I got my eye has been caught here. Of course, when I see my name scrolling in the comments, I grab it here. Someone said here, Larry said here, I would mark out if Emir appeared in the Royal Rumble. And then he continues. Imagine Emir winning the Rumble, grabbing the microphone, and then ripping his Uncle Paul and the rest of Suits a new one. Let me tell you something, Larry. Our cannons are aimed at that Great White North. They are aimed at Titan Towers. So stay tuned in 2026 because some things are happening. Some things are moving and shaking, as it were. And you will see the Master Emir out there in one of these organizations in 2026. So stay tuned. But Martin, I will allow you now to continue.
Next is a backstage segment between Vito and the 2 clowns, Yabo and Ruffo. Vito goes through their bags and finds maracas. I said maracas. Yeah, sorry, my eyesight's terrible. Maracas in Italian colors and an Italian shirt. He asks them, "What do you know about Italians?" This was hilarious. This whole segment was amazing. And asks, "What's going on with the twitching, the Italian shirts, and the maracas?" Vito tells the clowns if they hear anything about Jasmine, the hot Guma, to let him know. He asks if they like chicken parm or veal cutlets and tells them they should join him for dinner. Vito is clearly a Sopranos fan, much like myself. One of them, I'm still not sure which is which, suspects Vito might be onto them, but the other is convinced he doesn't know. This is a great mystery-based storyline that, in my opinion, has to be setting up the introduction of another character of Italian origin. I'm thinking it might be Santina Marella, parentheses, Anthony Corelli. And the fact that I'm thinking this deeply, this is key.
Yeah.
Means I'm engaged and excited to keep following the story. Yeah. I never thought I'd say that about storyline involving clowns. But here we are.
Yep. Perfect. But as you're reading this, Martin, it's like last week. JCW reads like a very intriguing
comic book.
Now, yes, exactly.
It's an awesome comic book. Kablam, kapow, bam, 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 bam.
Yeah. It's
actually so easy to follow on.
Yeah. And like I said, as a writer myself, I'm telling you right now, this is perfect storytelling. This is exactly how you tell a story. This is how Hollywood writers, the good ones, not the hacks who go through film school because they have to learn how to be writers. I'm talking about the organic writers, people who just know how to do it, right? Martin, you've heard of this, Bodacious Suave. There are people in life that can just do something. They don't need to be trained and told all the bullshit whys and wherefore. They just understand it. And Russo is definitely somebody who just understands storytelling. This is fascinating stuff, Martin. Continue reading here.
Then the next thing is a quick Judgment St. Clair commercial, airing a podcast. Okay, again, so then we go backstage with Vince Russo and Big Al, with Russo telling Big Al that the games end tonight and scolds her for her actions last week in the dog collar match. Big Al threatens to share the pictures Russo allegedly sent her of his 1-inch, one-eyed Willie.
Bodacious Suave, this is hilarious, man.
Russo says no one will believe her and it's nonsense, but Big Al says, you really want to take that chance? So now we're literally bringing in the whole Me Too cancel culture wrestling into,
Well, what Russo's doing is he's doing real stuff. Yeah. This kind of shenanigans happen in the workplace all day long. Just because we went through that era doesn't mean it just magically disappeared. Yeah. There are constantly bosses trying to make moves on their staff members. That's the way life is. So he's using that, again, a relatable subject that happens in real life in TV. What a novel idea.
Yep.
What a novel idea. Again, WWE and freaking AEW, TNA, clueless. They belong with that Sapp, Sean Sapp, and his stupid Fightful pro wrestling bullshit. But anyway, continue, Martin.
Back to the ring for the continuation of the best of 3 title series with Fake Aid and Ninja Mac, with Ninja Mac claiming victory in last week's match. Although Martin said Fake Aid reminded him of Jay Briscoe, but I see him more as a young Jeff Hardy with a colourful presentation, mixed with Bryan Danielson's wrestling style. The commentator even referred to him as enigmatic, which is one of Jeff Hardy's monikers.
Mm-hmm.
What he's saying here, this is now what I really do agree with. You are exceptionally good writer. I would have personally waited another week for the rematch to give the series a chance to breathe, but I know Russo likes to move stories along quickly, so I won't question the direction. This was another acrobatic, high-flying encounter. Fake Aid wins by leaping off the middle of the top rope with a kick to Ninja Mac, very similar to Shane McMahon's coast to coast, but off the middle of the rope. Just like how the Undertaker would walk across the top rope, which is even more impressive. The series is tied 1-1. Looking forward to the deciding finale. They shake hands again and bow to each other. These are unique characters with their own style as opposed to the more formulaic stuff you see on WWE.
Unbelievable. And while you were saying that, we got a comment come through. Now, ordinarily, fans, we do not answer comments unless they're accompanied with a super chat, just like I do over with Renee on the Café de Renee. We have the same policy here. That's how you come up on the screen. But I do see this, and again, some people have been questioning me, why do I have such high regard for Vince Russo? Well, as I've stated, I am a writer, so I know firsthand what it takes to conjure up something out of nothing and put it on paper. And I'm telling you now, Vince Russo is the last hope for sports entertainment. WWE does not create sports entertainment anymore. They're creating purist wrestling. So if you think of purist wrestling, think of Martin, would I be wrong in saying Japan, New Japan, stuff like that? That's just purist catch for catch without many storylines and frills and whatnot?
Yes, it's treated as a sport.
A sport, right.
It's a sporting contest, yeah.
Right. So what has happened is WWE has been morphed into a sport. AEW, again, I don't know if they try to be sports entertainment in the beginning, but they're definitely not. They're just trying to be a sport, which is ironic because sports are true. It's an actual competition. It's not predetermined, so it can't be a sport. So it's a conundrum right there. TNA are following suit. They're now, babysit by the WWE. So that's
WWE 2.0.
WWE 2.0. So for us, the lapsed wrestling fan who vanished for years, who was starved of actual sports entertainment, everything you all loved growing up, the WWF in 1990, 91, 92, 93, up until the 2000s, that's been gone for years. Vince Russo is the one who is bringing it back. He's spearheading that through JCW, and that's why I am so high on the man. He speaks with wisdom and he articulates well. He's always got an answer to back up what he's saying. He's not hyperinflating anything. His numbers prove his success already. In 10 weeks, they were getting an average of 10,000 views an episode. They're now up to the 40s, almost 50,000 a week. Now, the same cannot be said with AEW. They started at 1.5 million. Now they're down to 500,000 a week, and that's worldwide. Matthew, you going to say something?
I think they're in the 200,000s.
Who? AEW?
Uh-huh.
Yes, Collision is in the only 200,000s now. So Russo has got an upward trajectory. It's going to keep going up. And that's why I'm so hot on the ideas and the decisions that he's making and what he's doing for us, the Lapsed Wrestling fans. So kudos for that. Anyway, Martin, let's continue.
Hold that thought as well on in-ring sport, because I've got a question for Matthew once I'm done with this. Vito is backstage berating the St. Clair Monster Factory. Jasmine and Vito go back and forth, and Vito tells her she has to move out of his apartment if they lose the match. I thought that was a great touch.
Brilliant.
I thought that was such a great little touch, yeah. We get a commercial for the Brian Pillman Memorial Anniversary Show. I have no idea when this took place, but it looks spectacular. It was surreal seeing Steve Austin on a JCW ad. Just a quick note, if any wrestling fans or any actual wrestling students are watching right now, please, please, please do your best to go and find the first Brian Pillman Memorial Show. Obviously, the night was in honor of a great man, but there is one of the greatest, again, pure wrestling matches you will ever see. And it's not in terms of it being a high-flying spectacle or anything like that, but a genuine wrestling match that will make you feel everything. And that's Chris Benoit and William Regal. That was William Regal's, I believe that was his first match back after his very, very serious addiction problems.
Yeah, so go out there.
If you want to watch a match on storytelling, go watch that, because it's one of those matches that Dr. Tom Pritchard would always use it as, okay, whatever style you do, watch how they're selling, watch how they're taking the time, watch how they're pacing it. Actually how to tell a story. It's magic.
Pacing and selling for sure. And before you continue, Martin, if you haven't already, make sure you smash that subscribe button. We want you as part of the Masters of Wrestling family here. Make sure you hit that subscribe button. Make sure you hit that the notifications bell, so you're notified whenever we put out a brand new video. We have tons of podcasts here, tons of guests coming up. We got Crowbar actually coming up next week. He's going to be coming on the show, former WCW superstar. Matthew has us an actual JCW superstar who's going to be appearing with us here, maybe as early as Thursday. We don't know yet. I'll talk with you off.
Yeah. I'll give you that feedback.
Yeah, absolutely. So we got that coming up. Like I said, we got a lot of good things coming up. And again, don't be scared. Don't be afraid. Join and become a channel member. It's just $4.99 a month. That's the price of a cup of coffee. And you will become part of the juggernaut that is the truth in the wrestling podcast realm, the Masters of Wrestling. And if you do that, you're going to have access to our members-only videos. I've got 2 that I'm dropping this week. You're not going to want to miss those. Martin and I recorded. We did a pre-record the other day on our dear buddy, the corporate man himself.
Yes,
CM Punk.
We did.
Indeed. We talked about the corporate man in depth, some shocking revelations. And yeah, by the way, the CM has always stood for corporate man. That's another thing that we burst right here on the internet. And then I did another special with Steve Wilton, the Ultimate Warriors manager, and of course, Warrior University graduate David, our other correspondent on the Ultimate Truth podcast. Both of those will be dropping this week. And of course, you'll get a free question. You'll get to debate with us on the screen. You'll get your question up on the screen. We'll give you a shout out. So become a channel member. It's just $4.99. All you do is hit that join button. Martin, back to you, my man.
Okay, so Morton is walking outside searching for Matt Cross, and then we go back to the ring. Big Al comes out fully covered in a winter coat. She takes the mic and says the boss is making her apologize for her actions last week. Big Al calls Danny Moe and Haley J to the ring so she can apologize in person. The commentators don't seem convinced by her intentions. Big Al says she's making a match with the 2 of them in a DLC match. Doors, ladders, and chairs. Clever twist on the overdone TLC match. She says they must use the weapons or they'll be fired, and the way to win is put your opponent through the door. Then Big Al unzips her coat, reveals a referee shirt, and yells, "I'm your ref." Freaking brilliant. A swerve with a unique stipulation. 2 Russo trademarks.
Brilliant. We got a super chat, Martin. Before you continue, I want to bring it up on the screen. John Dabrowskill. Dabrowskill, you do have some skill, my man, because you are here. I see he's looking pretty jacked in that picture as well, right there. He's a fellow lifter of the weights, it looks like. Thanks, Amir. I appreciate the explanation. Really, maybe I just listened to Corny too much. What do you think about Jim's take on Russo? Then he's talking about Jim Cornette right here. So it's very sad. I've discussed this with Rico, of course, our co-star on Styling the Podcast. Rico, who knew Jim Cornette very, very well. They just had a falling out, and Jim is very passionate about his beliefs in life. We know about what happened with him and Santino Marella. Remember that big incident, gentlemen? Do you remember that? I think that, again, times passes, things change. You know, he may be remembering the Vince Russo of 1998 or 1999, and what you got to understand is almost 30 years have gone by. And I think if Jim were to really assess what Vince is saying now and what he's doing now, I don't know, maybe they could make amends. I would like to think, gentlemen, because I think that Vince is really proven himself right now. He's really showing that out of all these so-called, you know, Michael P.S. Hayes's, Paul Heyman's, TKOs, anyone who's ran TNA, he's already leaps and bounds ahead of him, man. So I don't know. I mean, hopefully Jim Cornette can see the good that he's doing for professional wrestling, but I don't know. You know, Jim has his opinions, and God bless him. You know, he's still one of the greats. He entertained us, you know, while he was in the WWF. He was really good at what he did, very good at what he did, helped to craft stars in OVW. So I got nothing bad to say about Jim Cornette. I just hope he can bury the hatchet with Vince Russo. I hope that answers the question, John.
Where are we? Big Al starts placing the weapons in the ring and tells Haley she must use the chair. Danny and Haley team up by kicking the chair into Big Al and throw her into the ladder. Danny pulls out the door and they prop it on 2 chairs, but Big Al recovers, blasts Danny with a chair, lays her on the door and slams Haley onto Danny through the door. Then she orders the ref to ring the bell and declares herself the winner. She grabs the JCW Women's Championship and leaves with it. I really like Big Al. She's a star with a bright future. Morton is still in the parking lot looking for Matt Cross in the Detroit winter night. We go backstage with a silver face-painted guy calling himself Mr. 50s, talking to Vince Russo. He tells Russo they're very similar and shouldn't leave money on the table. Russo looks at the camera and says, "Did that just happen?" It's actually a really... the guy who plays Mr. 50 is a former NXT ref. Also just a great wrestler, Drake Younger. Came up through CZW and stuff like that in the deathmatch scene, but an absolutely fantastic straight wrestler.
Martin, whereabouts are we on the card right there? Because I'm looking at our time now, and
we've got 8 man. There's quite a bit left.
Can you hop again? Apologies, Mohammed, for jumping along a little bit.
Yeah, my bad, Mohammed. I've waffled on. I tell you, let's get
we'll move it along a little bit. Can you get us towards the end of the show a little bit there, so we can? And we'll just have to start these recaps a little bit earlier because there's a lot of information to digest.
Okay, so let's just jump straight to the main event. Storm versus Cardona. And I never rated Zack Ryder. I find his wife Chelsea Green to be far more entertaining and charismatic. The match was okay. Cardona inadvertently knocks out the referee. Anderson gets involved by hitting Storm with a belt, then places Cardona's arm over Storm for the pin and the win, furthering the storyline between Storm and Anderson. I personally preferred the triple threat that set up the main event. Backstage, we see Vince Russo running at the parking lot as Pondo is attempting to run over Cactus Mike with a car as Vampiro watches on. Russo tells Vampiro to stop Pondo. Russo rescues Cactus Mike, and we end with a close-up of Vampiro smiling. Final verdict. Another excellent edition of Lunacy. In total, we had 5 matches with countless segments, each serving a purpose and furthering angles. The show never stopped. Continuous storytelling and angles with no lull at any point. It felt like those fast-moving 2000-era WCW Nitro episodes where something was always happening. I thoroughly enjoyed the show. I give it 8.8 out of 10. I'd still like to see less vulgarity and for there to be a new JCW champion soon. Anderson, Storm, or Nemeth would all be better than Cardona. Lots of cliffhangers. Looking forward to next week's episode.
Absolutely brilliant. That is what's going on, Bodacious Swab. I agree with the cussing. I think that
it's too much. Like you can drop the again if you drop one F-bomb in a show in a promo that really needs it, it's going to be so much more impactful,
Yeah. But other than that, I mean, like I said, that's just personal preference. That's not knocking the product.
No, it's not knocking it at all. Again,
that's just
if you got kids at home watching it, like it's not that
See, that's what I think. I think it could be a great kids show because they have enough different characters to rope in kids. They've got color. They've got, colorful logo, colorful ring, colorful entry. They have that. They've got a variety of characters. So I think if they were to minimize that, then they may get that exposure to that younger demographic who would find it.
Yeah, I mean, I think
hilarious.
you'd still have to cater for, you'd have to be like 15 and above, I think, or 14 and above.
Yeah, definitely. Like little
imagine a 7-year-old going, "Mom, what's a ring rat?" Like,
you'd have to go like at least PG-13, right?
Yeah,
PG-13, sure. And then I think that would be a good demographic for it. But Bodacious One, but just listen to that. What do you think, Bodacious One? You're hooked. You hooked?
Well, I watch it sometimes. Remember, it always appears on my YouTube, and it's fast-paced action.
Yeah.
Right. Remember when
here's the thing, in this day and age with like GIFs and you can watch a match online in 20 seconds because everyone just plays like GIFs of the highlights.
Yeah.
That's perfect because people's attention spans are zero nowadays.
And the fact that it's, you said 5 matches in an hour and 10 minutes. Well, WWE is only doing 4 matches in 3 hours.
But nothing feels rushed with it. I never feel like I'm watching it and it's like, oh, you're cramming.
I'll go to a WWE show, for example. I mean, it's been years since I went. Someone will come out, Lillian Garcia, try to amp up the crowd. Okay, guys, we're going live in 2 minutes. So you're getting all happy and ready. But then you start the show with a 30-minute promo. And then another stupid something. It's just...
We got another one from John. Thank you, John, for fueling the juggernaut that is the Masters of Wrestling, for giving us the super chat there. That's how we bring you up on the screen. I've been hearing about this company. I presume, John, you're talking about JCW from different podcasters now. If they are growing, how long until mainstream do you think? Where to watch? Okay, this is an interesting question. So we know they're growing exponentially. They're growing fast in less than 3 months. I think mainstream will be there eventually. Bodacious, am I wrong in thinking that JCW will be mainstream soon?
It all comes down to TV deals, right?
If
you don't have a TV deal, you're considered nothing. Not saying they can't survive, but that would be the thing.
Could they go on Fox at 10 p.m. on a Friday night?
Yes. Especially if you want to keep your F-bombs and that, then sure.
Martin, what do you reckon at 10 p.m.? Now, we know the 10 p.m. time slot worked for you and I back in the UK when Monday Night Raw used to air on a Friday night at 10 p.m. or 9 p.m. I think it was 9 or 10 on Sky Sports. 10. So 10. Okay, but we watched it as youngsters.
We stayed up all night and watched it. Yeah. So
right.
It would definitely work. And again, they've got they've got names in there as well. It's like, who doesn't know Nick Nemeth? Who doesn't know Ken Anderson? James Storm is still exceptionally popular. Like, he is so popular back home in England. He's so over back home in England.
So John,
one of the stories coming out as well, super quick as well, Bodacious. JBL may even be working for JCW.
Yes, the rumors have begun.
I'm not crazy about that one.
But it's still a name, Bodacious Swab.
You're absolutely right. That's what you need to do. Fresh faces.
But again, if he's doing what he's doing on the indies, he just walks in, clothesline someone's and leaves. Then
I'm fine. I'm fine with that. I don't want to see you 65
I don't think he's going to be bumping around and stuff like that. But just,
no need.
Exactly. There's no need.
6'6", no need. Yeah. But the thing is, coming back to this, because we mentioned, I see another comment there from John about streaming. This is the problem with streaming. Streaming, you have to be looking for it in order to find it. You have to be looking for pro wrestling. On TV, you could have someone channel surfing. Oh, what's this? That's how I found WWF wrestling. What's this? So if you, and that's why AEW's, in dire straits right now. Their contract's up in 2 years, and the rumors are that they're going to go to a streaming service. Well, when you're streaming service, the only people who are going to find you are the only people who are looking for you. So it's like much like YouTube. If you don't if you're not paying for Google Ads, like some of these other podcasts that pop up on your feed every 5 seconds, right?
Booker T.
Yes, like the bookworm himself, Booker T, who are paying for Google Ads. And basically what that means is you pay to play. So if I wanted to invest $1,500 a month in Google Ads, our podcast would pop up on most of the wrestling stuff you watched. If I wanted to invest $5,000 a month, it would be even more. And we'd be well over 100,000 subscribers right now. So it's positioning where you're at. So TV allows a wrestling company, which I'm sure Vince Russo would love. So if they went to Fox, which I could seriously see them on at 10 p.m., that would be massive exposure because anybody who's just channel surfing could find it. So that's the difference. I think TV should always be the end goal. Streaming is just, that's just a bonus, or that's just like a last resort, in my opinion, right?
Yeah, I think also it's difficult though as well now because not many people have got cable anymore.
Yeah.
But a lot of people still do, though. They still have access. There's still a Fox app, right? Fox still has an app when you got Roku and all these other places. You still see Fox.
Yeah, so if you're going to get,
you'd have to be.
It doesn't have to be Fox. It could be another channel, but it's going to come down to that channel. They're going to be like, well, we want X, and we want X amount of views. If JCW is only giving 50,000 people, they're not going to get a good return.
But again, it's super early days, though. I was about to say, not yet.
Yeah, I know. It's a gamble, right?
Yeah.
Of course. But again, at this stage, they're on YouTube, so
keep growing.
I'm sure it's being monetized. Yeah. And the fact that, the views are creeping up.
Yeah, I'm sure they got sponsorships across. I mean, some of those ads are
sponsored out as much as you can until you can't do anything else with it. And then by that time, everything is going to be cooking anyway. So,
but hey, let's say it grows and it grows and it grows on YouTube, which it will. And let's say they're
going to, for sure.
Let's say they're pulling in. Let's say even on YouTube. I mean, think about the embarrassment to WWE and AEW if in 6 months from now we're sitting here and we're reading the reviews, and JCW pulled in 850,000 views in 3 days on YouTube, but yet AEW Dynamite in the whole world only drew 400,000. Right? So there you go. I mean, you would have to think a TV network
breeds success.
A lot of things too can be just, hey, let's wait to see what WWE does with the Saudi Arabia thing.
Well, if they go to the Saudis, it's just going to be a library, but Aisha Suave. Well, maybe not. If they've built this stadium now, maybe they're planning on having their own. Maybe they're planning. Hey, I mean, you know what? WWE superstars. That's maybe why AJ Styles is bailing out. That's maybe why he's going to tap out and smile to Gunther, because maybe he doesn't want to move to Saudi Arabia. Maybe I don't know. I mean, some of these other superstars, you better pack your bags and get ready because you're moving out there to Saudi. That's coming down the pike. So, again, something to think about. But another thing to think about is we are reaching the end of this show. We want to thank you all for joining us here. We want to be on this special occasion because the return of the Bodacious Suave, my tag team partner from Canada, he has successfully ended chemo last week. He is now on the mend. He is being healed by our Father in heaven. In the name of Jesus Christ, Yeshua, we give all glory to him. That's why we do this. So we want to thank you for that. We also want to thank any new channel members that have hit that join button, that have stepped out of the shadows and into the spotlight that is the Masters of Wrestling. Thank you for becoming a channel member. Now you're going to get the perks that go along with it. If you haven't already, smash that subscribe button. Do not be afraid. Do it now. That helps us get out in that algorithm. Remember I was telling you about Google Ads? Well, this is a way we can get around that. By you smashing that subscribe button, by you hitting the likes, by you taking this link and sharing it on your social medias and telling your friends, hey, switch off the garbage, switch on the good stuff, watch the Masters of Wrestling. But for me, the Master Emir, I just want to give a salute to my dear Uncle Paul. Thank you, Uncle Paul. But Aisha Suave, any closing statements?
I'll finish that Bret Hart story with Earthquake real fast.
Yes.
It was like a squash, like a 10-minute squash, right? So Martin, like, Q, is that not stupid?
Yes, that's ridiculous. Yeah.
Okay, so they get back to Gorilla, and Chief Jay's like, "What the hell was that?" And Bret's like, "Don't ask me. Ask Earthquake and Bravo." And then I guess Chief Jay ripped Earthquake and Bravo, and then they get back in the locker room, and Bret Hart asks Earthquake, like, "See, I told you." And Earthquake's like, okay, I know.
Good stuff, but good impression, but Aisha Suave. All right. Okay.
For a guy who had a temper, he for once he took it back. Like, okay. That's good.
All right. And then Martin, any closing statements from you, my man?
Everyone, thank you for tuning in. Thank you for the super chats, and just thank you so much. Much appreciated. Yep.
It's your last day today, right, Martin? Is that what I'm getting?
Wow. Shots fired at the end of the night.
Shots fired right here on the masterclass. Oh my gosh. All right. No, he's just joking. We will be back 3 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. Actually, you know what? No, let's do 2 p.m. Let's do 2 p.m. again. 2 p.m. Pacific Standard Time on Thursday. That's 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We may have a special guest with us, so tune in, keep watching. Make sure you watch the new episodes drop in tomorrow morning, and we want to thank each and every one of you. God bless you. Until the next one, take care.